It is, and proudly so, America's first museum, and it's right here in the Holy City. We'd like to welcome Carl Borick, director for the Charleston Museum, which is releasing a special commemorative book. Well, it's great to have you. So tell us more, why a commemorative book now?
So in January of 2023, we'll be reaching our 250th anniversary since the museum was founded.
250 years.
And so our staff worked with the University of South Carolina Press to produce this volume, which provides a great history of the museum, but also really wonderful images from our collections. You know, we have 2.4 million objects in our collection, and this is kind of a best of that collection.
I love that. And I should point out the fact that you personally have not been there for the 250 years that it's existed.
That's right. I've been there a few years
of those.
Than that,
yeah, a few less than that. Well, we're lucky to have you. Just flipping through the pages of this book, I just love the breadth of items that you do have, that you do feature here. So tell us a little bit about what the museum has within its walls and what people who come to visit can expect.
Sure, we have 5 major collections. We have an archives, we have an archaeology collection, history collection, which is decorative arts and weaponry, historic textiles collection, about 10,000 pieces in that collection. Some of the finest historic examples in the Southeast, and then also a natural history collection.
Yeah.
And some of the objects in the collection go back 300 million years.
That's incredible. And you're talking about archaeological finds in terms of animals, insects?
In natural history, yes. Fossils that have been found around the Low Country, including one of the objects featured in the book is Pelagornis sandersi, the world's largest known flying bird. It was actually found at the Charleston airport back in the early 1980s.
Goodness gracious. So can you give us a little bit of a history going back 250 years? So who are the founding fathers and what was their vision for creating the Charleston Museum?
Well, interestingly, Layla, some of the folks that were involved in the revolutionary movement in South Carolina, such as Charles Cotesworth Pinckney and Thomas Hayward, were some of the founders of the Charleston Museum. They were members of the Charleston Library Society and had studied law in England and probably got their idea for the museum here in South Carolina from the British Museum.
Interesting. And it's amazing also the care that it does take to preserve some of these items. Can you walk us through just some various items that you have at the museum and what it does take to preserve them for generations to come and enjoy?
Well, a perfect example is our historic textiles collection, right? We have a special gallery where we rotate examples from that. And you wouldn't want to have textile items on exhibit for long periods of time because they're subject to fading from light, and the fibers will break down over time. So our historic textiles curator is very good about making sure that those objects are rotated on a frequent basis and well cared for in our collection storeroom under proper humidity and temperature controls.
Yeah, that's a huge endeavor. It's a big undertaking.
Absolutely. We have 5 curators who take care of our 5 major collections, and again, 2.4 million objects in the collection. It's quite an undertaking.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So you've got some events coming up in January to celebrate 250 years. So what's coming up? Correct.
So our actual anniversary date is January 12th of 2023. We'll have a keynote speaker that night, and Theo Hartig, who's the director of the American Museum of History at the Smithsonian. And then the following night, we have a very popular nighttime at the museum event. We usually do at the end of the school year for kids, but this will be an over 21 version on Friday, January 13th. And then for families on Saturday, January 14th, we'll have a family day.
I gotta ask, what makes it 21 and over?
We'll have a little bit of alcohol, and we'll be talking about some of the spicier aspects of the museum's collections.
We enjoy spice.
I think folks who come out will really enjoy it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Carl, for sharing with us. Again, it's a beautiful book, which you had a big hand in playing.
Absolutely, yes. I wrote a good bit of the text, but also contributions from all of our curatorial staff. Our graphic designer put together the layout, and it was very much a group project.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
Make sure you head out to the
Charleston
Museum, everyone. We're back in 2 minutes.